Ready, aim, fire.
Welcome to Live with Sensei. I'm your host, Jay Haynes, for the Film Sensei YouTube channel. In this 15th episode of Season 2, I am delighted to be hosting a Project Challenge versus show. And I would like to introduce my brave guests today, starting with, let's introduce Terry, also known as TD Davis. Welcome, sir.
Howdy, y'all.
It is great to have you. I would also like to introduce Mike, and also known as Triam23 on the forums. Welcome, sir.
Hello. I'm not seeing my own comment showing up in the chat stream.
It'll show up there sooner or later, I'm sure.
There we go, right behind Ethan.
And finally, let me introduce my third guest, and that is Justin. Welcome, sir. Clever tagline.
Oh, hey, how you doing? Back again for more fun.
Oh, it is a pleasure to have all three of you. Terry, I love the Baby Yoda.
I tried to match that meme that's so popular.
Well, you did a pretty good job. That looks pretty cool, man. He's got the, he's got the look and he's got the nice background and everything. You guys look awesome there.
Well, that's all thanks to Southern Shoddy. He gave that away.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Well, let's give a few shout-outs. If you would like a shout-out, leave a comment in the chat room so I can recognize you. And let's take a look here. Coast to Coast Thrones is in the house. Great to have you. And Tony, Dafter Things, evening, afternoon, morning, everyone, and morning to you, too. He has a feeling dinner is going to interfere with the viewing pleasure. And Bill's eating lunch right now. And this weirdo HitFilm University guy is back in the house.
That guy's stalking.
Yeah, he's a strange bird, I'll tell you. And Ethan Butler in the house. Yo, Ethan. Mike, this is a question for you. Are you traveling?
Nah, just in a different room today. I figured that, nobody wanted to see the mess in the kitchen, and this room was a little neater, especially when my camera goes out of focus like that. Now everything looks clean.
Let's see. Ivan is in the house. Nice background. Terry likes the Baby Yoda action there. And also Robustwell. This should be fun. It should be fun. I think we're going to have a good time. That's our plan anyway. Let's the idea here is to issue a live challenge to accomplish something in HitFilm and then watch as my guests demonstrate their workflow as they go through the process of accomplishing the task. I have volunteered to issue the first challenge, and I think Mike has a challenge and Justin has a challenge, so we'll see how it goes. We're kind of wondering where our challenges lie in the scale from each other, but we'll jump right in, and I will issue the first challenge. This is my challenge to you, gentlemen. I am going to show my screen. This is an RPM gauge, and you can see that I have, in the media bin, I have a composite shot, and I have a plane, and those are the only assets I have in this project file. I have hidden all of the layers except for the very top layer, which is the needle control point. If I click on that, you can see the point is here, and then if I rotate the point, the gauge moves just like this. Easy enough? What do you think? That can't be too tough, can it?
I think the beginning of your chosen intro music, ready, steady, go, is very apropos today.
Ready,
Absolutely.
aim, fire. All right, so that's my challenge to create a very simple RPM gauge. And in true reality TV, there might be a little twist coming in as we go down the line a little bit.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, then.
All right. So have at it, gentlemen. See what you can do.
All right. Here we go. So I don't know about anybody else, but I'm just going to work in 720p and 24 frames per second, just because, you know, my system isn't that fast, and when we, you know, do things and start streaming, things slow down a bit. So I'm just going to go ahead and work at 720 and 24 frames a second to keep the load on my system down. That's just info text, I guess.
Yep.
All right, let's do this.
That is Mike's screen that you're looking at right now.
So we're doing this one at a time, or doing this all together?
No, you
Well, I think we're doing this all together, man.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
I'll just bounce around from your screen.
Whoops.
This is Justin's screen. And this is Terry's screen.
God, this is going to have to be one that Justin and Terry and I are going to have to watch later, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's okay.
That's fine.
All right, so we have a plane with a grid on it.
Yeah.
This is Mike's screen. And Justin has a... oh, looks like he has added the polar warp effect to a blue plane.
Oh, I'll be there later.
Of course, this is Terry's screen. He is selecting a fill color for his plane in his composite shot. Mike's screen again. The grid has been adjusted a little bit. And he has now dropped a color gradient onto the grid. Justin's screen. He has added a second plane with a grid on it. Terry's screen. He has masked a circle in the middle of his plane. Mike has added the color gradient, which gives the grid lines oh, that was interesting.
Yeah.
So it was a very nice looking grid lines, but now the
well, what we've learned is what I tried. So let me talk about what I did here and why that didn't work.
okay.
So Justin and I are obviously both thinking that we're going to warp something to make our tack gauge, and I don't know what he approached, but you see here that I made a plane that was 1280 by 100. And of course, the polar warp is still working within that plane of 1280 by 100. So if I could try moving that polar warp to a grade layer above this one,
Yep.
and that would probably work. Or, as a matter of fact, I think I'm going to do that. What I was going to do was change this to be a 1280 by 720 and then do some more masking before I did my polar warp. But I think I'm going to do that other thing I just said and do it on a grade layer.
Okay. Now, if you had in my project file, I had a composite shot that was 1920 by 1080, and I had a new plane that was 1920 by 1080.
Okay.
Just in case you're wondering.
Well, you could. I'm going to use multiple planes.
Sounds good. That's cheating, but hey, that's fine. You can do that.
No, it's not cheating. It's a different approach.
This is Justin's screen. He's still working on the background plane there, and Terry is. Where did Terry go? Oh, there he is. He has
Yeah,
his,
already.
mask on his, and he's working on his second plane now.
I'm already lost it.
He's thinking. He's thinking. He's thinking. Ah, you never lost. You're just thinking, right? All right. Mike has added another plane. This one is masked. I'm assuming he's masking out what appears to be the needle, or what is going to be the needle.
Yep.
Oh, well, Justin has.
It's going to be a fat needle.
Yeah. A very fat needle. Looking lovely.
Yeah.
Well,
It's
a little bit lopsided, too.
yeah. Should have thrown an alignment grid up here. I not following my own general advice here.
Mm-hmm. To put a
On
grid
workflow
onto
today.
align things. Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go. Justin
Or use the
is
alignment panel.
working a new grid idea. This is Terry has changed his plane color because he wants to look a little more light blue. If you guys want to see my project file again, just let me know. I'll throw it up here. This is Justin's screen again. And he is working, he's adjusting the parameters of the grid so that he can make the tick marks in the RPM gauge. Mike has added another plane, and he's making the center dot, basically. Mike has moved along here nicely. Very impressive.
Yeah, but why is that control? Shouldn't it be control double click with this circle mask? Isn't that the new feature that's supposed to be?
No, just double click on the circle mask itself.
Thank you, Jay. I don't know why I was thinking that was.
You're welcome.
Huh.
That's Justin's
Point.
screen. This is Terry's screen. He has worked. He's added a polar warp on here. He's getting there. Yeah, Mike's is looking very nice. Beautiful. In fact, I'm gonna. Greg is in the house. Blow by blow. How you doing, Bill Dafter? And Vazio is also in the house. Long time no see. Great to have you, Vazio. I'm glad you're here. We're watching as my guests are accepting the RPM challenge. This is my screen. This is the RPM gauge that I created. It has one composite shot, a new plane that is the same size as the composite shot. The needle control point is here. When you rotate the needle control point, then the needle moves up and down the RPM gauge. Terry is working on his plane, adding a polar warp on here. Justin has
warp on it, but
created
it's
his. Yeah, you want the polar warp. The polar warp is the one you want. Justin has his tick marks there.
Warping it for some
and
reason.
The blue. I think that the order of operations is important. And what you want to do is you want to put a grid on that so that it creates a, the grid itself gets warped, right? Mike has moved along pretty nicely here. And he has added curves to
that looks terrible. I was just trying to.
He's trying to make the center dot look good. My center dot was just a basic blue center dot.
I think I'll just go ahead and leave it with a gradient like that, and then what? Get some text going.
All right. Oh, and Frank Spider Hank is in the house. Great to see you, sir. Let me see. Vazio says everybody's looking good. The color is reversed, but nice. Yeah, the color is reversed, actually, Mike. Now that he mentions it, you have to you have to split. In other words, green's on the left, and then red is on
absolutely
the right.
You're absolutely right. But you know what? Thanks for pointing that out, because that is pretty darn
easy to
fixable.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
Justin has added his color gradient here as well. The question CC Coder has is the workflow similar to how you make an analog clock tutorial?
Yep. I would say so.
It is, because it uses the
there we
polar
go.
warp effect. Yeah, there's the gradient I see. And then the order of operations, Terry, is important, right? So there you go, Mike. Now it's looking very nice.
Yeah, there we go.
Justin's screen is, yep, he's working that. And then when the polar warp effect gets added on, it'll be beautiful. And right now, Justin has his polar warp turned off, so you don't see it as he's kind of fine-tuning the tick marks. Mike's tick marks. Oh, he's adding some fancy schmancy stuff. Tack. I see what you're doing there. Yep, good. Terry's still moving along here. He's changing the color scheme. Impressive. It's looking pretty good. Looking pretty good here. Justin, that looks fantastic. I love it. Yeah, that'll be the center one. Oh yeah, beautiful, beautiful. Yeah, mine was against a black background, in case you're wondering.
I just tried to drop in a black background, but as you can see, that's getting hit by my polar warp as well.
Is it on a grade layer?
Yeah, but right, because I did my polar warp on a grade layer instead of an original layer. So,
right, of course.
I got two ways I can fix that. One is I could go back and I could move the polar onto the go back and redo this actual layer. Or the other thing I can do is just nest it. I'm not going to worry about it. I don't need to have a black background here. I got nothing else on it.
Well,
maybe I'll start building another. Maybe I'll build another background. Okay, so one thing I'm going to point out I've just done in my media bin, if you can see that, is just here. Jay made one plane, and in 9 times out of 10, I'd agree with Jay on that. I like to make as few planes as possible, but I also sometimes I think HitFilm's pretty brute force, and if I create a full 1280 by 720 plane and I'm only using this little nub, then HitFilm still has to calculate and deal with a whole 1280 by 720 plane. It's taking up the memory of that and whatever. So like this little nub, it's a 100 by 100 plane, right? And this 1280 by 100 plane is making my hash marks. So I've kept my planes generally the size that I want them to be, and then that 1280 by 720, that's this background plane that's getting hit by the polar warp.
I see. So that's good. That's good to know. That's really good to know.
And then I'm also noting that I renamed everything what their sizes are.
Yeah, I see that that's what I was just getting ready to say. And you put them in their own folder labeled planes to keep everything nice and tidy in your media bin.
Well, that's just my preferred. That's my preferred media sorting. So in the media bin, I always group by media, and then I arrange by type. And then that's what's going to give me, so if I had any photos in here, they'd pop up in photos. If I had 3D models, they'd pop up under 3D models. So that's just how I like to work.
Boy, Terry, I love your screen, man. That's pretty cool. You got a spider web situation there. I love it. That's fantastic. Now you're getting to the, Terry, you're getting exactly what you want there. Justin, yours is almost done. Almost done. He looks fantastic. And Mike, yours is almost done also. But remember I said I was going to throw in a little bit of a twist?
Sure.
You want to see
look,
it?
I'm going with nested composites. Yeah, let me flip back over to your screen.
All right, everybody take a look at mine.
It's got fireworks. No.
Is everybody watching mine?
Yes.
Okay, so as the needle moves up, a warning light comes on if you get too
I remember
far.
seeing that demo sometime.
Oh, I remember that trick. I remember that trick, and I've got somewhere to use my polar warp. I'm already set up for this. Cool. Cool.
I'm trying to remember how that trick was done. I can't recall what that was.
That's right, Terry. You keep working on your base of it, and we'll let the true experts here, Mike. This is Mike's screen, and Justin's screen. We'll let them work on the advanced part of that, the little procedural warning light that comes on when you get too far into the red.
And you did it all in a comp, in a single comp, huh?
In a single comp with a single plane. I sure did.
Is that single plane duplicated, or are you saying there's just one?
Yeah, he's duplicated the plane a few times. I'm guessing.
Okay. That's right. So there's been, I use the same plane over and over again.
Yeah. Huh. That's a good twist. That's a good twist, Jay.
Thank
you. In my case, because of the way I've approached this, and it all comes down to choosing to put the polar warp on this grade layer. So, because I've polar warped on this grade layer, I'm going to have to go to a nested comp, I think, to do what I think you did to create that warning.
Mm-hmm. You are. Because
I used it on a grade layer rather than on the initial layer. So I'm just going to do that rather than retool what I've already built.
That's fine. Go right ahead.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that. And this is Mike's screen as he retools. And this is Justin's screen. Boy, Justin's looks good. real
I'm just
good.
kind of sitting here racking my brain trying to figure out that light effect and how that was done and how I might approach it. And I'm just kind of in thinking mode right now.
Yep, I understand. I understand what you're saying there. Terry is working on his background plane now. Mike is on his way in a nested comp. Broke my rule, but that's okay. No worries.
Nope. I can do that, and then I can. Oh, okay. Here's what I need to do.
Frank says it is good to see Terry. Actually, physically see Terry. And it is. It's good to see. Yes, we can. Well, we can now because I put you up solo on the screen.
To find that setting.
0.
Yeah, you look good. And he's got the Yoda going on in the background. You gotta like that. Terry is working on the tachometer piece here, and he is getting real close on that for sure. Looking at Justin's screen, and this is Mike's screen as he has nested
Yes.
it.
There we go. Okay, so
Greg said Terry had a sonar screen going on there for a minute. That's true. It was pretty cool. Daniel says that your mic is a little bit hot.
On the mic?
Your mic is hot, a little bit high. It is. You're a little bit loud, but that's all right. We don't mind.
We're used to that. Let's see if I can find anything in here that is volume control. I'll flip in here to audio for a minute. Disable audio processing. Is there volume? Go in here.
CC Coder says, glad I'm not versus guest today. You might need a 24-hour live stream for this. Nah. This is a two-parter, right? The first part is the, let me show my screen. The first part is the RPM gauge by itself. If you can do that, it's not tough, right? You just got to know how to use the polar warp and whatnot. The harder part is the second part, the twist part here, and that is when you get into the red area, then the warning light comes on. And you got to know a secret on how to make that happen. If you know the secret, then you'll be able to figure it out pretty quickly.
Oh, I think I remember. All right, I'll just try and talk quietly.
And I will. This is Justin's screen here. I will. Okay. He's added his warning light. Oh, and he's going to add the word warning too, it looks like. So
Yeah, I'll go ahead and do that as well.
We're on our way. There's the now you're on the right track, Terry. There you go. That's it. Beautiful. Here, we'll go back to Mike's screen. Oh, and Bill says it's not Mike's mic, it's his personality that's loud.
That too. That's true.
Greg says your mic sounds fine. I think your mic sounds pretty good too. So
I'll try not to talk too loudly because I can't find audio settings at the moment. So
Justin has added the warning light and warning lettering. That looks good. Now you just got to keyframe the warn, right? Just to turn on when I push it forward. This is Terry's screen. Yep, now you're there. Now you got to create the needle next, right? As soon as you get those tick marks in order. Yeah, looking good. You can adjust the grid itself this way. Yep, which is what he's doing. He's just dragging the grid itself. That looks great, Terry. Looks awesome. Now Mike has added his warning light and warning dot also.
Those together. That was a good twist. That was really a good twist.
That's funny. I had a hunch that might be coming when you were dialing the thing around the first time through. I thought, okay, so that light turn on. Like, oh, okay, maybe not. So the bulb was very well placed.
I didn't go up enough for you to see the light turn. So here's Justin is thinking about what is he doing here? And this is Mike's screen. He's gone back to his nested comp. Oh, he's about 1, 2. He's got about 3 nested comps going on now.
Yeah, I needed to pre-comp this hash marks thing.
I like it.
Okay. So.
Terry, your needle is looking very good. You'll have to slide the anchor point of it, right? Just adjust the anchor point and your needle will be good to, yeah, you bet. You'll be good to go.
I have no clue.
You'll put your needle point plane underneath the green plane, and then it'll be hidden behind it. It'll be, and then you'll have it. You'll be done.
Foolish man. There we go.
Mike is probably talking to Justin, I imagine, about that.
No. I was talking to myself.
Foolish man.
It's
Mike,
funny, when I do stuff like this, I do talk out loud, but I'm like a little too self-conscious now that I'm on camera. But when I'm alone, I mumble a whole lot.
Oh yeah, you got to talk to yourself doing this.
Terry's screen. Terry, you have it. You're there, basically.
Needle control.
You can adjust. Yeah, that's it. You got it. Terry has completed the first piece of that. Mike, you are on the right track, is without any doubt.
Yep. I'm trying to remember how we do this with the to get it to pop rather than wipe. But first I'll go that far. And then, okay, warning shutter. I don't need that grid anymore. All right. So
Terry's screen. He's added a second. Oh, I see what you're doing. You're adding your warning light. Yeah. So far, so good.
Well, that's weird.
There you go. Terry, have you? Is that underneath the polar warp grade layer? Terry, did you put the polar warp on a grade layer or no? No, then that's just, why don't you remove that mask and just double click on the same mask that you just added. Just double click that circular mask up on the, in the viewer window. There, perfect. It's still a little bit, out of resolution, that's for sure.
Yeah, it's strange, isn't it?
But you got the right idea. Yeah, that is interesting. It must be, how big is the plane that you're using? Oh, it's only 10 pixels wide, that's why. Or 10 pixels, yeah, wide. You made a separate plane for the needle. I see what happened there. Yep. Yeah. But if you change that, you'll change the needle plane.
So, Jay, is your original on Express or Pro?
That's a good question. Mine is in Express. This is HitFilm Express 14.
Okay.
And you can see it.
I'm trying to figure out if you use any Pro features in this by any chance, but
nope, no Pro features were used in the making of this particular project file. And like I said, there's only one composite shot and one plane in the whole project file. That's it.
Yeah, you built yours a lot more elegantly than I did.
Well, I had time to play around with it. So, see, that's cheating. That's Mike's tack on. Mike, oh, I see what you're doing. Oh, yeah. There you go.
Yeah, I'm gonna flip back around to Jay. Show me your screen again. Yours just popped on, right? It didn't wipe on.
Yes, sir. It pops on when you. Whoops. Let me put that back.
There you go.
And when it reaches a certain point, it just appears.
Just pops on.
Yeah, there's a secret to it.
Yeah.
And I'll be happy to share the secret.
Yep.
If I tell you the secret, it'll help you a lot. Right?
It would. Yes, Frank, you can turn my face into Lion-O. Thunder! Thunder! Thundercats!
All right, let me do this. I have a new composite shot. I bring in a
Justin,
plane.
Terry, you guys may want to stop what you're doing and watch Jay's screen for a second.
Yeah, what I'm going to do is I just brought in a new plane. And let me go this way. All right, now I'm going to add a second plane. I'm going to put it over here. And I can fill that plane any color that I want it to be.
Sure.
But if I use a, oh gosh, which one do you put it on? If I use a, what the key is that this plane and the needle is going to touch that plane. When that plane touches it, it causes this to light up. And the way that you do it is through an auto light flare effect.
Oh, see, I'm thinking of a different process entirely.
Right.
I
so
may be able to
this,
get mine to work still, but that's okay.
I
no.
can't remember if I put it on this one or that one. I forget which one. But when it touches it, that's when the light flare pops on because it's looking for the color. I'll have to show you the actual.
So what'd you do? Like a, so now you've got like a difference? No, because difference blend wouldn't do it. Not unless you were putting the.
I should have probably looked at my project file today, huh? I built this like a couple of weeks ago. But it is definitely.
Well, we were going to do this 2 weeks ago, so.
Yeah, that's exactly right. The intensity is way up, and is it a?
So you've got those two planes, you've got them buried underneath a grade layer, so you can flatten that down. So what you're doing with those two planes is you're generating the flare, and then the flare is becoming the set mat for the warning light, right?
You know what? That sounds good to me. Let me do this. Let me put the light flare on that plane. Let me fill this plane. And, oh, wrong plane. Thanks.
Gotta watch what Jay's doing now.
Paste. No, but that's filling the whole plane because I need, oh, yeah, no, that should be fine. Right, but if I were to move my plane clean off the screen, see how that plane moving off the screen causes it to, but I have it so that it's set up where it touches that plane and then it goes. And the secret here was the threshold needs to be down to 0.01, I want to say, or maybe even 0, something like that, where when it comes off, then it's either on or off.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Right, like that. Yeah, but the problem is that it's only on the screen. Oh, you know what? Let me do this.
That's great. That was so clever. I love it. I love it. I love it. Okay. I think yeah.
Oh, I know what it is. I bet I have to put the grade underneath it, maybe. I don't know. But I have these interact in a way where you get the idea, though. How when that needle rotates around and touches it, it ends up lighting up the whole thing, right?
That white plane you've got is probably offset somewhere out on the circle. So, you jiggered it into position so that it, only hit when you wanted it to hit. That's what you had to do. So that was yeah. So you probably needed the rest of your tack more or less in place to.
Yeah, maybe I parented another one to it. That could be.
Right.
I'll have to look at it and see. Now I can't remember. How embarrassing. But then you got to cover, right? So there's a grade layer on the bottom that's working that.
Yep. And then another plane over it to be the background.
Right.
Yeah.
So here's Terry's screen.
And I'm still thinking of an entirely different process that may work, but it's like, do I want to take the time to work on that now, or is it too far along?
Well, why not?
How much longer is this one challenge going to keep going?
I don't know. We can go for however long you guys want to go, right?
Yeah. So I think I'm just going to go ahead and.
There's Terry's. He's got the tachometer. It looks good. Looks real good.
All right.
I'm gonna put mine back.
I'm still trying to figure out how many pieces I need to make this work. That's part of my delay on this.
I'm looking at auto light flares.
So you filled the small one with the white.
I have the auto light flare on an actual plane that is over there. Oh, I know what I did. I'm using a set matte effect to intersect them. That's what I'm doing. The auto light flare is underneath. The auto light flare is underneath the set matte effect on the plane that is the red light. So no gray layer. Back that out. All right, let me fill this plane. Set matte effect.
Whose screen are you looking at?
I think this is Terry's.
I'm looking at mine here. Wait, let me. Okay, there's my screen. I want to put a set matte effect on here.
It's the worst.
And is it going to be? Let's see.
What was that, Terry?
Yep, here we go. Now, as this tips over, it lights it. Yep, that's how it works. All right, so this is my this first plane is my needle plane, right? Which, by the way, I just did this. I made it fairly small, and then I just added I added a matte to it, and then I choked the matte. Or the mask, I mean. Like this. And that's how I got my needle. But then, it doesn't matter if the needle is...
So the needle's actually, so the needle is in your final setup, the needle itself is driving the warning light. Okay.
Yep. The needle itself is. Yep. And
right.
The deal is that I have that plane filled. It can be filled any color I want it to be, right? I think. Oh, maybe that has to be underneath. And then the needle itself, when it, no, I lied. It has to be above the auto light flare, maybe? No. Oh, maybe the needle, is the needle red? I don't know. That's a good question. At any rate, however that fills, I use a set matte effect on the plane itself, the plane that is the warning light, sourcing the needle, and then I have the auto light flare, but the auto light flare is set maximum intensity, and the hotspot is, or not the hotspot generation threshold is set to 0, because if it's anything above 0, then it will only light, the one piece. Oh, I know how I got to change color. I know how I got to change. I don't need the fill light. What I need is the auto light flare. I changed the color of the auto light flare. So I make it red. There. Right? So there it is. That's how that comes on. Just like that. Everything else.
I need to look at what you did again.
I changed the auto light flare. So I have it filled any color. It doesn't matter the color of the fill, because then a set matte effect is sourcing the needle. And then but the key to it is in the auto light flare. The threshold is set to 0. The intensity is maxed out at 5.
And the scale set to 1.
And the color, the global color of the flare dictates the color of how it lights up. There you go. Just like that. That's how I did it. Everything else is the same. So here's my entire stack.
Yeah, let me see what you're doing, because this is not working for me.
So I have the control point that controls the needle. That's the only thing it controls. The needle, like I said, is just a plane. Obviously, the center is just that blue piece. The needle is a plane that I just had a mask that is the size of the needle, but then it's choked down to make it look simple enough, right? Then you know how to do the ticks. Everybody did those, right? The mask for the light is What is that? That's a good question. Oh, that's because I had to get both the light and the warning to light. And so I used, this is my mask that I used, and then the red light plane is what I am actually sourcing when the needle touches it. But then the warning text was added. Let me see. I used a set matte effect on it to bring in the warning lettering itself, and I had to mask. I had to use that in this grade layer because to get all this stuff. In other words, let me turn off everything here. These two things are just these two. It's an alpha matte.
Yeah,
it's an alpha matte. So the grade layer is the alpha matte, and then everything, and then the plane itself is the or the mask is the plane, right? That I use. I'm just masking out the that, and then so that way when I move the needle and it touches the plane, it's the set matte uses the alpha matte that I've created to light up. So I can put anything underneath the grade layer will light up here, but it'll always light up in red because
Whoops! Wait a minute. I need to go back to your screen. Anything under the grade layer. So you're using you're using a grade to flatten the warning in the plane. Yeah, you're just using that to generate an alpha mask.
Yep.
So yeah, I can do that in a minute. I'm just trying to figure out what I set up differently from you because all right, hold on. Set matte.
This plane is just so
your plane that lights up in order has a set matte set to the so. Your plane, your warning flasher plane, has a set matte on it.
Yep.
Right? And the source layer is set to the needle.
Right.
And the matte source is set to alpha, and the blend is set to replace. Right?
Yes.
And then underneath that, you have auto light flares.
Yep.
0 threshold, 1 flare, 0 scale. Does it matter? Or intensity?
You do need to have a fill color on it. It doesn't matter what.
You have to have the fill color first.
Yeah,
okay.
Because otherwise there's no color in the plane.
So it won't grab the inherent color of the plane. There you go. You're right. Okay.
It won't fill. Yeah, it can be any color.
Wow.
It doesn't matter what color it is because it's going to use the color of the auto light flare. Did yours? Let me look at Mike's plane. Yep, there it is. Let me see. That's right.
Okay.
And then what I think I did was I used the other matte to cover the rest of the plane, basically. In other words, I just cut holes in another plane above it. Fazio says, "This is a cool effect."
Yeah,
cool.
it is a really neat effect. So then you needed a second. So then you need a second set matte.
And Bill says, "Only 5 likes. Hit the thumbs up for us. They're working hard here." There you go.
I never would have come up with that one, Jay. That is.
There you go. That's it.
I'll follow along later on and watch.
And I put I put an extra plane in, above the grade layer just to separate.
Yeah.
It's a black plane just to separate the, everything. And you've got it. Very good.
Right there. Yeah.
Yep.
Wow.
Now when you move the tack,
wow,
it procedurally lights up the warning. Very nice, Mike.
You did a tutorial. You did a tutorial on that one, didn't you? I know. I've seen this somewhere.
Somebody did a tutorial. I think I did a tutorial.
Wouldn't it be funny if this is one of Justin's tutorials?
Yeah, that'd be great.
I saw this a couple years ago.
I've seen something like it a couple of years ago too.
I never bothered to remember the details.
What I did was I combined 2 different tutorials that I saw to make this one. Is basically it. So I saw one for the warning light, and then I saw another one for the tachometer. I think. Let's see. Oh, Andy's here. Woo! Andy in the house. Great to have you, sir. And it looks like Courtney is in the house too. Very fast, very furious. Great to have you, Courtney. Glad you're here. All right, so that was my challenge to you. Thanks for playing. Who would like to issue? Now, where's my challenge lay within yours? Is mine harder or easier than yours? Maybe the first part's easy and the second part was hard?
You're asking me?
Anybody.
Sorry, because I'm still adding. Now I'm adding glow to my warning light. You know, I got to.
And I added a glow. I don't know if you noticed. I added a little bit of a glow for the RPM gauge, too, just so it looked like it was on a dashboard. Right?
See, I thought you were going to somehow have the dial turn on and light up the segments of the grid as it went around. That would.
Oh yeah, that'd really be cool. You could do that because you do what Mike essentially did, which is have.
Well, since Justin was working on his own screen, Justin, one of my the attempt that I let go was I just kind of brute forced it, and I built a virtual physical shutter. So I just had a plane with a cutout that was attached to the center, attached to the same center weight. So, it would just, the cutout would wipe around.
Yeah.
So you could do something similar to that and just have it reveal the tack gauge.
Like and then that overlays it.
And now I really feel like this is one of Justin's. Justin, didn't you do something where you had like similar to your auto reveal, right? You did something funky with thresholds so that as you were moving the thing, it would
kind of
quantize down.
Yeah, I mean, for the LED, the first LED tutorial was kind of a threshold-based kind of a thing. So yeah, it just kind of it drives a mat that reveals a brighter version of the same color.
Yeah,
kind of a deal.
Yeah, and was that in HitFilm Express or was that in Pro?
The initial one I think was Express. I can't remember which one I did first. I did both versions, Express and Pro. I can't remember which one came first.
Was that the one that uses the Pro audio?
The Pro uses the audio version, but there is a version you can do. That's just, again, part 2 coming. Who knows when?
You're just manually keyframing.
It can be done in Express. Well, this can actually be done audio driven in Express.
Really?
So that's what I have yet to reveal in part 2, which is again coming. Who knows when? But
without using Atomic,
I've got plenty of time to work on things now that I'm spending a whole lot more time at home.
Yeah, all of us are. All right, who has a project file they would like to challenge us with?
Well, somebody thinks about the project. I'm reading the comments. CC Coder, Mike did not actually have any cereal this morning.
Yeah, what's up with that?
So it's 12:47 in the afternoon, and Mike was dumb enough to be awake till 7 in the morning. So, kind of staggered in here, under 10 minutes before we were going to start, being like,
yeah, you did. You were last to show up.
You look pretty good right now.
Yeah.
All right.
I was trying to be speedy, so Flash T-shirt.
Who wants to give us a challenge?
I think Justin does.
Me? Well,
Justin does.
Hang on. Don't share my screen yet because it's not there.
And no cat. Justin has a cat in the room, and
she's right back there.
Both of you have a cat
moving.
Yep, you can see them both. And then Terry just has Yoda.
He is here. This is Coconut.
Hi, Coconut. And that's Loki.
You're awake.
And that's Loki. So we got Coconut and we got Loki.
Loki's over there kneading her blanket. She's going like, I'm okay, I'm okay, I'm okay. Oh, Coconut's going to be on camera, and I'm going to tick off Loki.
Oh, yeah. We got to share.
Bite. Maybe she's
Terry, you got to pick up Yoda. Oh, wait, no. He's just...
Yeah, I know. I've disturbed you.
Here comes Loki. There we are. Oh, he looks thrilled to be here, too. Let me tell you.
Do not kill.
Trying to figure out where to begin with this. Well, mine, I don't have like a project file. I mean, I have a project file. This is part of one of the projects I edited for work. We did some YouTube ads.
Okay.
I have to put a couple ads together. Let's see. No, that one's not it.
Greg says Terry needs to animate that Yoda baby.
Oh, Vazio says, make the Death Star laser beam. Okay.
Make the Death Star laser beam.
Mine's more of a motion graphics thing, if that is turning anybody off or on. I don't know which. Let's see. Okay.
Oh, I need to be looking at. I guess I need to look at Justin's screen, or I'll be lost.
Well, yeah, but he hasn't. I haven't put it up yet.
I haven't shared it yet. This is the actual finished video. Let me actually open it in QuickTime, so I've got more controllable space to do here.
Okay.
I might change my screen share so I do the full screen.
That's fine.
That works.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm not sure if I do the full screen. Can I share my audio too? Did that work last time?
Yeah, you can, but you have to check it on when you do.
Okay, I'm stopping my current screen share.
Yep.
I'm going to go application window, that.
And then there's a little tick mark that says share audio.
Only on the Chrome tab if I do it on the Chrome tab. On the application window, I do not have such a choice.
Oh, no kidding. Well, I hate
Yeah.
when that happens.
Same thing for my entire screen. So I mean, I have to turn.
Well, we
the
don't
audio
need
up.
audio, do we?
We'll see how this. I'll go full screen with QuickTime once I share this.
Just put your speaker on up next to the microphone there.
Well, my mic is here. My speakers are there.
Oh, just grab it. Here. Like
I just cranked the audio up. Let me close the door here so I don't
Like this.
blast anybody else.
It's very weird.
He's gonna crank it up.
I'm coming back. Okay.
Justin, I don't see your screen yet.
Well, I haven't finished sharing.
Oh, okay. Just check.
Getting
Just making
that
sure.
set. So.
Okay, now I see it.
Okay,
Am I
now
ready
I'm
to
curious.
share it?
If I go full screen with QuickTime, does that go full screen for you as well?
It is. I don't see anything.
Okay, well, it's actually, that's very strange. It may not work that way.
You may have to just go part screen because we could see it.
Wow.
There we go. We can see that.
Okay. Let's go. Audio is up. I'll just crank this up. All right,
All right.
Here we go.
Come here, Lucky. Okay, well, you're going to need to send us some footage before we can cut that.
No. Like I said, it's only part of this. And
All right,
actually,
tell us which part we got to make.
part I was kind of playing around with, which I kind of happy with how it turned out. This one piece, this kind of blocky edged piece you see here that's kind of like, let me turn the audio off. So these different pieces in here have this, the edgy, the block edge there kind of flickering and pixelating.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So that, it's not a super complex, technique necessarily.
No.
But I kind of had some fun playing around with that.
That's pretty cool. I think I would know how I would approach that.
So anyway, play around as you wish with
Having a
that.
clue.
Oh yeah, I know Mike would know what he would want to do. I think.
Maybe. Let's let me save my project.
He's gonna save it.
I may as well.
I like
I
that.
saved mine too. I'll play around with it later on.
Live challenge with Sensei.
Let me see. While you guys are setting up, I'll do a few. Let's see.
RPM.
Greg wants us to make a blazing sun like Tony sees. Yeah, good luck.
Well, the thing about
time
Tony
we have
sees,
here.
it's not that. It's actually not as hard as you would think because when we did the roundtable, Tony talked about how he did his solar prominences.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
he's using. I mean, it's just he's got a textured 3D sphere, and then he's got a textured 3D tori that are just intersecting the sphere. But we have to go into, and it's actually a lot easier to build than you think it would be. But we'd have to be in Pro to do it. You can't, or you'd have to be in Express with the 3D model add-on.
Right, because they're just all 3D models.
Right, Greg. But Greg, if you were to look at the old tutorials on making a sun, the one that Simon and Axel did for way back in HitFilm Express 2, they're just making fractal noise and they're wrapping that onto a sphere, And what Tony's doing, and it's now easier in HitFilm because we've got override materials. So you build that same fractal map, but instead of wrapping it on a sphere effect, you just go ahead and wrap it on a 3D sphere model. You texture your 3D tori and just have them stick out. And I've been playing with that, Greg. I think you'd be able to make that happen quickly. But we'd have to do it in Pro.
Right, but you would like animate the movement of those and everything. Was that how you do that?
Yeah, right. And like I said, I'll refer back to the Simon and Axel tutorial, or even back to theirs was based on an Andrew Kramer tutorial, Video Copilot tutorial. But I mean, I'd refer you back to that one because I mean, it really comes down to you make a grayscale fractal map, you color vibrance it so it's got the glow, and it's fractal noise, so you spend half an hour playing with it till it looks good.
Yeah, that's why I said good luck on that.
Right,
it's a long.
The only thing I'd say is since Axel and Simon did that tutorial, HitFilm's added several new fractal noise types. HitFilm's added the 360-degree fractal noise. So you'd use the 360-degree fractal noise types. You'd use the smoke type fractal. You'd use an energy type fractal to look really fantastic.
Right.
Yeah.
So I would say that, you're using a fractal with a block displacement.
Back to Justin's.
Yeah, back to Justin's fractal with a block displacement, and then you're using maybe a gradient to sort of go from brighter to darker, and then use a threshold.
Feel free to play away and show me what you got. I'm not going to reveal.
It's a challenge, man. We're supposed to actually build it.
Oh.
I guess we got distracted by me just talking to Greg about the sun.
I'm also seeing a comment.
Mike derailed a conversation. What were the odds?
Ivan says fractal noise maybe to mask. He's probably talking on that.
I'm seeing a comment in the chat from Frank earlier on. He wants me to say giggity.
Wait a minute. Here it is. Justin, just say it. Go ahead.
Say giggity. Is it giggity? Is that what you want?
Jiggity.
Or more like
giggity. Frank says Terry gets it. Terry, you get it?
Yeah, I think he's referencing Hail on.
I don't get it.
Yeah.
Oh, King of the Hill. I've never seen King of the Hill. That's why I don't get it.
I have seen King of the Hill, and I still don't get it.
That's from Family Guy.
Family Guy, right? Because King of the Hill would be bring it, Bobby. Propane and propane accessories. How long would it take to make the John Lennon effect in Forrest Gump? I'm not sure what that one is. Okay, new plane. Let's see. What did Justin do?
I'm showing Mike's screen here.
I got to step out. I'll be back.
Go ahead, Justin.
Yeah, it's a good time now that you stuck us with your challenge.
Yeah, thanks a lot. This is Justin's screen here. I mean, not Justin, Mike's screen here. We'll do a co-op look at this. Terry, you're restarting. You gonna work it? Yeah, and Courtney says Family Guy is it. That's right.
Okay. Block displacement. Yes. And we'll make this 5 seconds.
What'd you do, Terry?
And we'll reset this plane.
To open up of the sun, but it's missing media.
Oh, you have to relink it, I guess.
It's not on the desktop anymore.
Well, this is Mike's screen. Man, I should have added banners, huh? Like Mike's screen.
While you're on my screen, this is actually we've got a pretty good time to go there. So let me go ahead and call up displacement.
Right.
All right, gang. So here's one of the big. Here's a big power tip if you're an Express user who, not a Pro user who hasn't bought the displacement add-ons. You see this block displacement, energy distortion, fluid distortion, smoke distortion, and they all say add-on, 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 add-on.
Mm-hmm.
You don't need to pay money to do any of these. So I've talked displacement before in other tutorials, and I'm just going to go ahead and so what displacement does is it uses a grayscale map to drive the displacement, okay? Bottom line, if I use the regular displacement effect. And block displacement, energy distortion, fluid distortion, heat distortion, and smoke distortion all use the same fractal engine as fractal noise. So if I take a plane and add fractal noise to it, and I'm going to go ahead and delete that fill color because I don't need it, then and build my own fractal noise and then embed that and use that as a source for a bog standard displacement effect, then if I want to do block displacement, then I could do these clouds and I could just take the interpretation down to block.
Right.
So that's block displacement right there. Heat distortion is based off clouds. If I wanted to do fluid distortion, hey, look, that's this fluid energy type. That's the fractal pattern that the fluid distortion is seeing, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
Right.
So clouds is heat, and then energy, fluid, and smoke, the other distortions. And these energy, fluid, and smoke got added to fractal noise when those distortion types got added. But if I build my own, I can do a wood display, right? I can do a displacement based on any of these other types.
Sure.
So just kind of noting there that if you've got Express, you don't actually need to buy the displacement packages. You just roll your own, like I'm about to do, because I want to try block displacement. So let's just go ahead and leave it at that for the moment, and that'll be my block displacement comp. And I'll make another one, ragged edge.
I'm opening my project here to remind myself how I actually did the thing. I will share it once we get to the end, quote unquote.
Right,
Whatever
right.
that end may be.
That's good. We would like to actually see how you did it. Can you do a gradient on that to make it go from lighter to darker or something like that, Mike?
On block displacement?
Yeah, and then just threshold it.
Sure, I could do anything I want to this source layer. So yeah, I could. So what you're thinking when you say lighten to dark it? Like if I were to do something like
it's lighter on top and darker as it goes down, and then you just use a threshold to block out.
Sure.
Make
Let's
your blockety look.
Yeah. So maybe if I do something like that,
Sure.
and where's my other point? Is that my start point? That's my start
there.
point. Where's my end point? Tell you what, let's go. Let's do 0.
Yeah, there you
and
go.
0 and 360 and negative 360, and let's do this blend as, how about an overlay?
There you go. Now you can see them.
There we go. And we'll do the opacity of the color gradient, and then we'll flip those. Yeah. So if I just do so I've got a color gradient that's going from white to black, and that's set to overlay, so that's going to brighten the top and darken the bottom.
Sure.
And I could I could do a threshold, like you said. Let's try poster eyes. Justin loves poster eyes. Well, you do, right? Because
Absolutely, I do.
Right, because then I could take it down to 4 levels. Might even do that. Right. Might even put the poster eyes before the gradient. Nah, maybe not.
Maybe not.
Yeah. Poster eyes look isn't what I'm going for anyway. Threshold would give me that really subsettings.
Yeah,
if you sublevels. There we go. Let's turn those sublevels down.
You'd want to scale the. There we go.
Like that, and then let's go ahead and seed that out so we can get some movement on it.
Right.
Keyframing
the seed will cause that to change.
Yeah.
And we're getting somewhere on not much of a change. Thanks a lot. Making a bigger seed.
And make it a bigger seed.
Yeah. Now, how do you get it to come down to one line, though? You have to have a sharper gradient.
Well, actually,
Put the points closer together.
Well, I don't necessarily need to, right? Because now I'm in my ragged edge plane. And my block displacement. Oh, right, because my block displacement is under. So I brought that in as a comp, and since I moved it, you can see that I think what I'm just going to go ahead and try and do is here. Let me create a grade layer. Displace.
Oh.
Flatten.
Okay. Yeah.
Right. Oh, because for displacement, here's another thing. Just a reminder on displacement. Displacement, the neutral value that does 0 displacement is a 50% grade.
Yep.
White's going to go one way, black is going to go the other. So what I'm going to go ahead and do on that one is go back to my block displacement comp and change that color from a 0 to a 128.
So
Yeah, so I'll just go one way.
A quote-unquote hint as far as how I got things done on this end.
Yeah,
Okay.
you can.
2 layers. 1 grade, 1 plane.
Okay. No embedded comps or anything like that?
No embedded comps. Now, to get the
I'm sorry, did you say 1 embedded comp or no embedded comps?
no embedded comps? I used some to get the embossed look on the final piece, but for the root effect is no embedded comps, just a grade over a plane.
I see. So whatever you're doing is, again, way more elegant than what I'm thinking, which happens a lot. It does. It happens a lot.
So you're using one plane to and a grade to influence the other one. And the effect has got to be a fractal noise effect.
I mean, here, let me show you this. This doesn't give anything away, thankfully. I'll share my screen right now. I'll share HitFilm again.
I'm going to create a banner called Justin's Screen. How about that? Okay. All right.
So
that looks
this is
cool.
it. Grade, plane, and this is the base of the whole thing.
There's a grade and a plane, and that's it.
And that's it.
Wow.
But you built this in Pro, right?
Yeah, but I think
Are you using block displacement?
I'm not.
You're not. Okay. Okay. So
I'm trying to remember if the effects I'm using, I don't think they're Pro specific that I can think of.
I'm going to move back over to Mike's screen.
Oh, well then let me get off the feedback loop.
How about this? Let me go here, and Justin, you can look at your screen and see. I won't even look at it.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you right now. Here's the other thing: the plane has no effects.
What?
All the effects are on the grade.
Really? Okay.
Wow.
And so the plane must be like halfway, or the edge of the plane has got to be.
Yeah, the
offset.
plane's just shifted vertically so its edge is visible.
Right. Right.
Yeah. Yeah. So I've got that right.
Yeah, you got that right. Good job, Mike.
Yay! All right. I'll tell you what. Let me turn all the rest of this stuff off. Now that I know I'm on the wrong track, and let's see.
Okay, it's collapsed back down.
What did Justin do?
I don't think the first effect. I don't think it's Pro specific. I can't remember. It might have used to been Pro specific. You know what?
Tell me what it is, and I'll check my effects list. I'll be able to tell you right now if it's an add-on.
Well, I think we lost Justin. He must have done something to knock himself clean out. Whoops.
Did he?
You did. Justin is gone. I'm sure he'll be rejoining us. Hey, there he is. Hang on.
I meant to hit a new tab and hit refresh, and it refreshed.
Well, hi, Justin. Welcome back.
Yeah.
I'm just going to blame the cat.
Let me go this. No, it's totally my fault.
Yeah, blame the cat.
Always blame the cat.
It's Coconut's fault.
It's not even here. I can't blame the cat.
No, Coconut left a couple minutes ago. We watched her go up and then over your paper thing in the background, and then she popped out through the wall unit, and then she was out.
Yep, that's pretty much what happened.
So it's not a grade with a mask and a block displacement, which is what I was thinking.
Okay, Tony says, Terry's face looks like my brain feels.
Specific. Trying to remember where you go to find the list of all the effects in Pro on the website.
Don't worry about it. I don't think they have that. I think that easy list was mine, actually.
Actually, let me look up the store, because if the store has it, the Express add-on store, that would tell me.
Yeah, you could do a find in page on there in your browser.
That was a sneaky try, though, Mike. Hey, tell me what effect you're thinking of, and I'll let you know.
Sorry.
It was a good try. She wanted Mike to say it, but I thought she meant Justin. Oh, giggity? Giggity.
Mike was trying to get you to tell us the secret of the effect. We'll see how that worked.
Well, Justin looks up the secret he's looking up. I'm going to look at some comments.
Cheating there, Mike. Tell me what
No. I'm looking at that. Yeah. Can't blame me for trying, Andy. Andy asks, Mike, what's the sword icon at the bottom of your taskbar? D&D related? Sort of. Not D&D, but, one of our games. My Wednesday night gaming group is a company I used to work for. We've got various... Go ahead and show my screen, Jay. So we have our various games. So...
Oh, which one of these?
It may be because you're looking at me. Yeah, there we go.
There it is.
It'll be a little feedbacky for a moment. So, video feedback.
Wow.
So, Andy. So we don't play. It's not D&D, but yeah, I mean, this is a tool for that. And then the game uses a lot of card flips. The ref is using a tarot deck, and then there are a bunch of different tables. So one of our guys, made up a quick little tool for all the card flips. So maybe let me see if I can find a...
Okay, I found the name of this effect in the Express manual, so I'm pretty sure this could be done fully in Express.
Right. Oh, there's the drinking to impress table. Let's see what Justin's got.
Okay, wait a minute.
Infinite feedback.
Let me come back to here first. All right. Are we looking at... No. Justin doesn't have a screen shared. So it's up to us.
I will reshare.
It's up to us. We got to... Terry, the Mike and I have got to figure this out on our own. I'm telling you, it's got to be...
All right. Yeah.
Everything's on the grade layer. Okay.
Yep. How many effects I'm using?
You did not. You just said that you've got one plane that's been moved vertically in space, and then everything else is on the grade layer, and that's all you've told us.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. That's it.
So I've gone as far as I've got the plane moved in space, and I got a grade layer above it. And I've got all the rest of this stuff that I can get rid of, although I'll keep my little block displacement plane over here for fits and giggles. And let's see, what did Justin do? What could ragged this edge up? He says he didn't use block displacement, but I'm going to drag it on anyway.
See, that doesn't look too bad.
Yeah, but then we'd have to mask this, right? So that it didn't. So that it was just the bottom.
Yep. You'd have to put the mask on the...
I have to put the mask
on the grade layer.
I thought I did put the mask on the grade layer.
I have no masks.
Oh, no masks. That's not good.
Okay. Well, no, because we've... there's...
Free.
He keeps throwing in these rules, man.
No. He's just showing us how he did it.
I know. Just kidding.
Wow, that's interesting.
You have... Yeah, you... Block. Okay. So, Justin, tell me there's a fractal noise involved.
In a manner of speaking, yes.
In a manner of speaking. Okay.
Is the fractal noise effect used? No.
Oh.
But he's using
effect that has a fractal noise behavior.
Oh, so this may go back to when Justin was off screen when I started blabbing about displacement and fractal types.
Is this I mean, you're not using like a very super heated or a super, like a heat distortion, like a distortion effect.
Yes.
Oh.
So he is using...
It's got to be heat distortions, unless you're using the actual block
Displacement effect.
The displacement effect itself. It's got to be the displacement effect.
No.
It's got to be the heat distortion effect.
Well, no, it could be the block displacement effect, but that one is an add-on. But here's something odd I'm getting with the block displacement, where I've got this set up to try it, but my seed isn't changing anything, my seed parameter. So I don't know what's going on there.
Oh, that is strange.
Yeah, you would think that
maybe I need to maybe
you need to keyframe it.
No, because I had keyframing set.
Versus, you have two different seeds there, one for block settings, one for displacement settings.
Right, but you'd think that moving either one of these somewhere would give me something.
Well, certainly the displacement setting one does, right?
Right. The displacement one does. So, all right. All right, so Justin, this is a plane and with a grade layer and a mask to choke to the bottom of and just a block displacement, and this is not what you did, right?
Correct.
So, that was method one.
It's got to be a heat distortion that has been
modified in some way. That is the only one of the displacement effects that's in.
So,
and you didn't did you mask your grade layer, Justin?
Nope.
No masks are involved in the creation. See, look. See how there you go. Now we're getting somewhere.
Whoa. Oh, you were looking at me.
No, okay. I'm looking at your screen.
You're looking at me.
No, you're getting somewhere with that.
Well, maybe.
All right. Now, can you pixelate it?
Yeah, I can. And we're gonna need to choke the alpha at some point, right? Right. Alpha. Let's see if I can do it with alpha brightness and contrast, or if I'm going to have to go to a.
It's still going to have to be pixelated more.
Yeah. But right now, I'm thinking. Oh
my!
Just want to make sure that I can do that. Yes, I can. Okay, good. So yes, I will be able to choke the heck out of the alpha.
Yeah.
That way. So,
I'm biting my tongue over
here. Justin.
Yeah, you can talk if you wanna.
We won't stop you from talking, Justin.
You're getting pretty close.
Yeah, Mosaic.
Trying to remembering some of your tutorials. You like Mosaic and you like choking things a lot. So those wonderful old school techniques that work so well. So let's see.
Oh,
you're getting very warm.
Yeah.
I mean, now I need to put this over something and maybe add a drop shadow or an emboss. Or did you would prep this in a comp shot and then you dropped this over video in another comp? Correct?
Yeah, this is dropped in, and actually it's a couple of different layers of embeddedness. This source layer, the source comp was put into one to add the embossing, and I did two different versions, one for the top layer, one for the bottom layer, so the shadows can be both in the same direction.
Sure.
In both of them.
Yeah, Andy suggested Mosaic a couple of minutes ago, so he was on the right track.
He was ahead of me.
And Robustwell block interpolation, maybe?
Justin didn't use block interpolation, but I mean, you could. Block displacement, you mean?
No.
Block interpolation.
Yeah.
Oh, and the fractal noise? Wait a minute.
In the heat distortion, is there a
interpolation? Oh yes, there is an interpolation. Yeah, block. There we go. Because. Yes, right. The same block, linear and cubic that's in.
Robustwell. Thank you for your.
But I did not use block though. I used cubic in mine. I'm not sure if I changed it to cubic at some point, but it's on cubic right now. So
yeah, and I mean I'm on cubic. Yeah, they all have slightly different looks.
Yep, they do. There it is. Yeah, that's got to be close.
It's pretty close. But I did use Mosaic actually. So if you
I've
took
got
Mosaic,
it's right there.
It is. Okay.
Right, so I've got a heat distortion, and then I've got a mosaic. So yeah, so what I've got is a heat distortion, and then we can change
How much?
things around until I get the change the faders around until I get the size and the look that I want. That's twiddling forever. Oh right, no diffusion. I don't want any diffusion.
Zero.
Yeah, 0. And then you used a mosaic, so I can use the mosaic to help control the size of the block. So I can make these, if I change the size of the blocks, I get a smaller edge. And then I've got curves, and that's just slamming my alpha from 0 to 100. And if I slam that curve around a bit, that's going to change the look of things also.
A lot.
Yeah.
All right, Justin, are you ready to show us?
Sure.
All right, we're watching.
So it's almost exactly what Mike just did there. So here are my settings on heat distortion. I mean, nothing super fancy here, but you had to scale the distortion amount. Like I said, I don't know if I changed this to cubic at some point. I think it threw
It defaults to cubic. So
okay, yeah, and then you use crush blacks and whites alpha to do the
there
crushing
you
of
go.
stuff, and to turn the opaque value down to 0.001.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course. Yeah. That's like when I do my the fake 3D letters. That's what I use to create the background of it. Makes it either on or off basically.
Yeah.
And it doesn't fade back as the zoom happens.
Yeah.
Right? Crush blacks and whites alpha.
And then I've got a version of that. So I took multiple versions of that, in here for, like layering things together and adding, the different colors for each of the different layers and things, and the embossing and the shadows and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's just a drop shadow and emboss
Yeah.
effect over on.
Yeah. But then here's my final comp that has the whole thing. This has got, I did the entire edit in the comp actually.
Nice.
So I've got 50 layers of stuff in here that I'll just kind of change around. But anyway,
that's not complicated.
that's a great one.
Yeah.
That's lovely.
So there we go.
That's wonderful. What a great project file. That was really
Yeah,
I have like an edge of some kind of interest on the thing, and so I'm just messing around with ideas. And I thought, okay, maybe pixelate it and see how that looks, and then came up with that. So,
Well, it's retro 80s is in, so
And that was extremely educational. I learned a lot from just
that was
trying
amazing.
to work my thought process through that, and then seeing how you actually did it. That's great. That's great.
Cool.
All right, Mike.
Kiwi Bakes.
We got time for one more, you think, guys?
They're asking. Jay's asking you guys because.
Yeah. You guys got time for one? I know
I'm
Mike
good.
does.
Mike is winning. No. We're hold on. I'm sorry. I'm
Mike
catching
is
up on the
winning.
comments.
Oh, yeah. Here
That
we
was a
go.
while
We'll
back.
catch up on the comments.
I
here a
would
little
list of effects found in the comments interface.
Yeah, I just saw
Unity,
that.
you'd have to bounce. I think you'd have to bounce assets from Unity through Blender to get them into HitFilm.
Well, I know where you're at. Let me back up.
Yeah, I saw a comment there from Grey Motion about if I've used Motion 5. I've not used Motion anything.
Yeah, let me pull it back up. You got this one?
Yeah, perhaps Wells, right? Block interpolation, Citra.
Have you ever used
Who
Motion 5?
makes Motion? I don't even know off the top of my head.
I don't know.
Is that an Adobe product?
No, Motion is not Adobe. I think it might be Apple. I think Motion is the makers of Final Cut. I think.
Andy, have a good night. Thanks for being
Sleep
here.
well,
Appreciate
Andy.
it. Yep. Tell the kids good night for us. Choking the alpha sounds violent.
Sometimes you pay extra for that.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, HitFilm is called
whole
Crush.
new
yeah,
whole new meaning to 50 Shades of Grey.
Keeping it family friendly and classy. We'll be here all week.
Exactly.
You bet.
All
right, Mike, give it to us.
All right. If we want to do one more challenge, and I don't have a project to show.
That's okay.
Because I didn't build anything ahead of time, and some of you may have seen that I shared multiple tutorials on Facebook and Twitter yesterday. Justin, they were my space tutorials, my how to do galaxies, how to do planets, how to do stars, nebula. So I was just going to say, if we were going to do a challenge, let's take 10, 15 minutes, build a space scene. I want a star field, I want a planet, I want a moon. And then the reason I didn't build a project is I'm going to try something that is different from all the stuff that are in my existing tutorials.
Oh, okay.
Cool. So just to make it harder on myself.
Build a space scene. I can guarantee you that Mike won't have any lightsabers in his space scene. He never does lightsabers.
Well, you know what? I think Vazio. Vazio said he left 3 minutes ago. Hopefully, Vazio will come back for the ending. It was Vazio who asked earlier. He threw up earlier in the chat Death Star laser, and one of my, for whatever reason, my unlisted YouTube projects are not showing up on this computer. But Death Star laser is light sword. Point array, extend. Yeah.
Yeah. Because you have several of them, however many there are that converge, and then one big.
So, I haven't done a lightsaber shot. I use the light sword effect all the time.
Yeah, the light sword effect is great because in Z space it actually, gets bigger if it's closer and further away. Unlike the lightning effect, which doesn't.
Right, like when you did your 3D car tutorial based off Stu Mashowitz's tank, you used light sword to get the perspective correct.
Yep, and you were the one that suggested that, and I appreciated that.
All right, so 3D space scene. Let's just see where we go in about 10 minutes.
Okay,
10 or 15 minutes. It's 1:25. We'll go for like 10 or 15 minutes and just see what we do.
I'm gonna start bouncing around on your guys' screens. Okay.
Sure.
I have no idea where to begin with this. I've never done a space scene.
Do a negative. Do a new file first. That's the first thing you got to start with.
Here's the thing, Justin. I didn't say it needed to be photorealistic, and I didn't say I didn't say that it needed to be photorealistic. I just said a space scene. So if you want to do something,
got the star field. You guys
so if you want to do something stylized and MoGraphy, go for it.
Terry's already there. He's got a space scene. This is space right here. We're looking at it. He's got his. This is Terry's screen.
All right.
There you go. Terry's adding a sun, it looks like here.
See, Terry's way ahead.
This is Mike's screen here. He's adding a big gray blob into the middle of space.
I did that stupid.
Mine is clearing out my past project here, so
Justin is defragging his hard drive as we speak.
Yeah, really.
Oh, we got a sun. Terry is fast. He's way ahead of you guys.
No. I've done this so stupidly. 1428, 32. Okay.
Yeah, I've got nothing going on. I have no idea where to begin. So
I see.
Or 200.
Thinking about stuff for now. Trying to figure out which way I want to take it.
Here's Mike's screen.
Okay, it's not going to let me do that, so I'll do it this way. And
go
then
back to
properties.
Terry's screen here. He's got his. Oh, he's tweaking the star field
20.
a little bit. Maybe get him to twinkle. Terry, are you gonna? Are you going to keyframe that so that the stars twinkle?
To tell you the truth.
Well, join the club.
There we go.
All right, Terry now has the glow effect on his sun. Looks very lovely. Yeah, that really makes the sun look realistic. Go back to Mike's screen here.
360 fractal. Oh, that's right. That's an add-on. All right.
Now you can't use that, Mike. It's cheating.
Can't use a paid add-on. All right.
I'm joking. You
Because I don't have
can
the
use
paid
whatever you
add-on.
want.
Are there any restrictions for this? Is this express only, or
No,
do what you
use
wanna
whatever
do.
you want. Yeah, well, I was just giving him a hard time. That's all. Oh, he's looking for. Terry's looking for assets now. He's bringing stuff in. Here comes Mike's screen. He's using a fractal noise and angle blur. See, I could cheat because I just have a star field already set up in my...
Oh, you can use that as well. I mean, I'm just, like I said, I'm trying something different.
So, Justin, I'm setting up a comp shot. I'm going to add a plane. My presets... Oh, it's not on this one. Oh, it's on Pro. Oh, well, that's all right. What you do is you add... effects would be the fractal noise first. And then there's a preset called Starfield. So that's as simple as it gets right there. Now, if you wanted a camera to be able to pan around and stuff, then you would have to tweak that some more, and you'd have to add the 360 video viewer effect and stuff like that. So,
yeah, I'm just trying to figure out. I want to go a totally different direction with this. I'm just trying to figure out what direction that is and what elements I want. And are we allowed to go grab like stock images online? Is that?
I hate to tell you this, but Terry's already added spaceships on his and everything else.
Well, Terry loves spacing, so you know.
There's Mike's screen back again.
Mike's trying something different, so
Mike is trying something different. Let's see here. Gray Motion is sending telepathic suggestions here. He's helping you out. Frank says Terry is fast. And Greg says, I forgot this is Express. I'd be lost. That's okay, Greg. It doesn't have to be Express. It could be whatever you want it to be. No sweat. You want to use the add-ons. There you go. Yeah. Frank says, go get it. Go get it, Terry. Keep it going.
Fine with that.
And, come back over here. This is Mike's screen. If I went back to my own screen, I'd add another plane. Maybe right. Fill it. Then glow it. Whoa. I'm working on this while things are happening, while you guys are doing your thing. Low might have to be above. Yeah. Just has to be bigger. Yeah. Something like that.
You do a multi-screen view of all screens?
Well, I wish. Unfortunately, I can't.
So you can do multiple cameras, but not multiple screens.
I can do multiple. That's exactly right.
Okay.
Let's come back over to Mike's screen. Oh my. He's adding some twirl effects onto his fractal noise. Woo! Look at that. Is this a planet texture, Mike?
Yep.
That's what Greg is asking. Planet texture looks like it.
Yep.
I like it. I like it. Oh, are you keyframing that? Is that going to be?
No, I was just.
Oh, I thought maybe you were having this is like Jupiter, man.
Yeah, I am going for a gas giant type look.
Yep. Looking sharp.
All right, so I'm stealing a trick from Tony C here, guys. If you're on my screen, and that's obviously I've created this in grayscale. Since I'm trying to stick with Express only and no add-ons, I'm not going to use color vibrance. So if I use this gamma effect down here, and all gamma does is shifts the midpoint of a color channel. So if you picture a curve with a point at the top, the bottom, and the middle, then all gamma does is move the middle point. That's it. But if I just move that middle point, then I can get some color tint in there, right? I can make that a little blue. I can make that a little bit, maybe make that a little kind of purplish, just by moving the center point of that channel around. So that's what I'm going to do to my color. Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah. And then I'm going to... All right. So that's a new grade. That's a new plane.
Courtney's given us inspiration here. This is her space scene. You can see it, but there it is. And so she's giving you all of everything that you need to see.
Emojis in space.
Yep.
Maybe
That's
what
it.
I'll do.
Greg is giving you some pointers. He wants to see the planet in front, the sun behind. Use a map for the planet, set map, use light rays and lens flares to get the glow, around the sun flaring around the planet.
Terry must be kicking ass.
No, that's not Terry. That's Greg. Greg said that.
No, but I'm saying if Greg's giving those notes, then Terry must be kicking ass.
Terry is adding what looks to be the Orville into his shot here. Right? Is that what it is, Terry? Is that what I'm looking at, the Orville?
I'm sorry. Yeah, it's the Orville.
Yeah. Adding in, he's already lit it. He's got the lights and things in there, I think. Yeah, he's on his way. He's on his way. Back to Mike's screen again.
How do I want to do this? I think...
Tony Dafter thing says it's the opening scenes to Flash Gordon.
Oh, such a good movie.
Yeah.
The 1981.
Yeah.
Savior of the universe.
What did she say? Flash, I love you. But we only have 1 hour to save the earth.
Oh my god. Yep.
Storm animation would be cool. I used warp when I did the Red Giant on Jupiter. Worked slick. Yeah. That's a Gray Motion quote right there. Back to Terry's screen. We got the Orville. He's tweaking the lighting on it now. Looking very impressive here. Terry has switched over to Pro here, is what he's done. Good for him.
Today.
Oh, yeah. Terry didn't cheat because he had to. He cheated because he wanted to.
I'm running into a problem here.
I'm going to come back over to your screen so we can see your problem.
I just don't know why this set mat isn't working, right? So I've got this... do I need that to be on? No.
Set map blend mode of subtract?
Yeah, well, I've tried add, I've tried and then replace and then invert, right? See, it's not working. Because, let me turn the texture layer off. So the set mat is directed to this circle below. Yep. And the circle below is an embedded... Oh, it kept the effects. It kept the mask over there. That's what's going on.
There you go.
Okay. There we go. That's
Perfect.
what I did wrong. Yeah. So may as well delete that mask. Don't need it. So there we go. That's what I was looking for.
I think Frank is impressed with our singing capability, is what I'm going to guess.
Oh, don't be.
And who could blame him? We're fantastic. We're going to take this show on the road, baby. I'll go back over to Terry's screen. Oh, he's adding normal maps to Orville and everything. All right.
I finally got an idea I want to play with, but
looking good.
Barely starting now, so
Justin is now on, and he's working. Back to Mike's screen here. Now it's starting to look like a gas giant. Ooh, bulge effect. I see. That'll give it sort of a spherical look to it.
Yep.
Yeah.
I wish I had a green screen behind me here to make this next part a little bit easier. But let me go.
Terry has got the Orville dialed in now. Orville might end up flying into the sun itself. Would have a big explosion. Back to Mike's screen again. Oh, that's looking very liquidy. That's a heat distortion.
Yeah, but
That looks
not
pretty
in the
good.
way. Yeah, but not in the way that I want that to. One speed, noise speed.
That looks pretty good.
Yeah, but I want it static. I don't want it animating. Why
Terry's
is it
screen, he's
animating?
got the Orville coming in. Tony Adapter Thing says, when I hear singing like that normally, I plug my ears with toilet paper. Can't do that anymore. Have to go get yourself some earplugs now, my friend. Coming back over to Mike's screen here.
I'm still wondering why. You see that shimmer? That shouldn't be. I've got a weird thing that shouldn't be happening, right? Because I've got my wind and noise speed turned to 0. Maybe 0.01. There we go. Noise speed there. Yeah. Do I want a little bit of wobble on that?
Just a smidgen.
There's what I'm looking for. All right.
Oh, yeah. Back to Terry's screen here. He's got the Orville flying in on for us there. Key framed. Let's see. Here he comes. Oh, he stopped. Oh, there he goes. Oh, he's coming in. He's just coasting into the solar system. Looking good.
Terry's like got a complete scene done, and Justin and I are like,
Justin's bringing in a cockpit. I'm feeling he might be green screen cockpit going on there. Back to Mike's screen again.
How large are you? What are you? 200 by 700.
Got captured.
Terry's almost got the entire plot of Star Wars down. You guys, you might want to.
Oh, come on. Yeah, my resources are severely getting taxed over here.
Justin.
Oh, I didn't capture what I wanted.
Are you trying to capture yourself and put yourself?
Trying to capture myself on camera. I got the thing all set up, and it just like so much delay. I've got literally so many resources going over here. Okay.
That's what happens when you're trying to do something in a live stream.
Only on 8 gigs of RAM. This thing is like, I need to get more RAM in this beast.
Here's Terry has the Orville is now orbiting his sun, I think.
Should have waited until I saw the record thing actually starting. What else have I got going? I could check.
You're recording, you're using your own camera for your own, or for the live stream.
No, it's recording me. I'm recording it in QuickTime. I'm not capturing the screen. I'm capturing the literal camera, but it's just like.
Mike has now added the stars. He's put the glow effect on them here. That's pretty sweet. That is a fractal noise.
Oh, come on.
He's bringing in his planet now. Terry's got the Orville flying in now. Sun looks beautiful back there.
Mine's going to be a still image. I'll warn you right now.
That's okay.
Didn't say it had to be animated.
Nope. No, it's just a scene. Mike is.
Okay, let me try this again because nothing's cooperating now.
Back to.
I haven't done. Don't bother showing mine. Nothing's happening over there. I'm still trying to capture.
Back to Terry's screen.
Show everything but mine for now.
Courtney is rooting for Terry. Go, Terry, go.
Dude, seriously. Okay.
Yeah, looks pretty good, Terry. Oh, you warping out? Is that a warp out, Terry?
Record. Come on. Move this nonsense and get the mic out of the way. What is that warning?
Don't know.
Mike is working. He's got 2 celestial bodies in his effect now. Is this going to be a eclipse, Mike?
No, it's actually not what I'm actually just doing that as I'm cheating my cast shadow, right? I haven't put a sun in yet. So, yeah. So rather than, right, so since it's a 2D thing, that's my, yeah.
Interesting. Back to Terry's screen here. Terry is tweaking the sun to look even cooler. He's added a nice fractal noise onto it to give it a sort of a shimmering light look. Are those light rays on there, Terry, or is that gleam effect?
It's low, but it's too fast.
How are you getting the light rays to come out of the sun like that?
The what effect?
You have like these beautiful light rays coming out of the sun. Is that
No, you're kidding me.
like a light rays effect? Is that a gleam effect? Is that a zoom blur effect?
Gleam and glow.
Well, yeah, okay, gleam. That's what I thought. I was going to say, that's got to be some sort of a gleam effect. That's a pro-only effect. Coming back to Mike's screen again. Oh, yeah. Now you can see how that shadow is working for your sun in the background, Mike. That looks great.
Yep.
Mike, Ivan has a question for you.
Okay.
Are you shooting for a cinematic look?
No, I'm shooting for a kind of a stylized look here.
Because we all know how much
Cinematic.
you like the word cinematic.
Oh, Ivan.
I had to switch over to your face just to get the look.
Oh, Ivan. Yeah, you. Why, yada.
Gray Motion wants to know if that's a black hole eating the planet up. No!
On Terry's or mine?
No, it's on yours. He's talking about your shadow.
Yeah, I'd have to add more twirl effects for that.
Well, I'm telling you. Planet killer effect.
Planet killer effect. There's my. Okay, let me go ahead and put you on top for now.
Terry's star is looking like VY Canis Majoris, says Gray Motion. Looking good, man. Looking good. Interesting. Now, Terry, since your light source is the sun behind it, would you want to backlight that a little more and front shadow it?
I'm sorry.
Light on the back side?
Yeah, my whole camera's broken. Can you guys even hear me anymore?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, because my camera on my side is totally frozen.
Yeah, you're frozen too. You're frozen on our side too.
Yeah, I've got.
And you're frozen with a very smoldering intensity look about your face. It's very good. You got yourself a good look.
Shut down.
That must be what you look like all the time when you're working on a project.
Sometimes.
The smoldering intensity look.
Heavy scowl.
Heavy scowl.
I don't know. It's just, yeah, I've got too much going on and too few resources to do it in. I may need to reboot this thing at this point.
The way Terry does it is the way I do it. He gets real close to the He's like right up here on the thing, man. Right next to the screen. I'm with you, Terry. That's how I have to do it too.
Even with the new glass.
Yeah, I'm with you. That's what happens, man. When you get old, you get the glasses get stronger and your face gets closer to the screen every time, you know. Oh yeah, I see where you're going. Is that a zoom blur effect there, Mike? Is that what? Yeah, zoom blur effect is what you're working.
Yeah, because no light rays in
Yep.
in Stock Express. So I'm trying to do this in Stock Express.
Yep.
That's this one, right? Okay. Sun under. And let's duplicate that one more time.
Okay, I get it, Greg. Greg says Terry's star is now like VY Canis Majoris, which is big ass star. Got it. Greg says drop an auto flare on that sun. There you go. All in good time. All in good time. Not so the question is, did Justin leave? I think he may have rebooted, but he's actually his remnant is still
Can you guys hear
sitting
me?
on my.
Yeah.
I can hear you. Yes.
Okay, yeah, I can't get a camera to work on this side at all. It's what's
Yep.
going on. My camera's just dead.
Right. We noticed.
So
Well,
let me try relaunching the stream app in the browser and see if that will refresh things.
Yeah, it totally will. Just get out.
Oh my God! I've been in half res all day.
You have? Wait a minute.
Yeah. So like, right? So here's what we were a second ago.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Good. Oh yeah, that looks much better.
You.
Well, I hate when that happens. I'm glad to hear that, Justin, you're back. You look good.
Well, now I still got to figure out how to capture that still image I want to bring back into HitFilm. I thought QuickTime would let me do it, but it's choking on me. Let me try one more time.
Just do a print screen of your own.
Well, I
screen.
need both hands away from the computer. I'm kind of sideways away from my desk. The angle I'm trying to put myself in the cockpit of that ship that I found.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, seriously.
You can always duck out, get your shot, and then come back in.
I may need to do that.
Yeah, not a problem.
My
Don't worry, we'll
grab
still be here. Mike's trying to figure out what settings he's on.
I think I'm going to actually try and grab the photo on the phone. I'll send the photo to my computer anyway.
Man. Mike, I'm glad to hear that even the best of us have that happen. Makes me feel good. Because I can't tell you how many times I've been like, really? I can't believe I'm working in the wrong mode this whole time.
Yeah.
It's only been an hour and 50 minutes that you've been doing that. So that's the good news. Pretty good. Let's go look at Terry's screen. Terry's still tweaking the star a little bit more. Oh, I see. You got do you have the shadows turned on the Orville, Terry?
It's what turned on?
Shadows? It'll be under materials.
Cast shadows.
That should add a little more realism. Now you got to go to the lights and have them cast lights or cast shadows also. There. Then you'll get a little more realism. Of course, we don't want to bog down your computer too much here. We're, get it to look nicer, though. All right, so let's see. Dafter has a question. Other than adding a watermark, can you do everything you can do in Pro and export it? And the answer is
not
no,
quite.
not exactly. Yeah.
Not quite. There are a dozen or so effects that are Pro exclusive. Surface Studio is a Pro exclusive. Inner Glow is a Pro exclusive. Outer Glow is a Pro exclusive. Exposure Pro is a Pro exclusive.
Chromatic aberration.
Chromatic aberration, right? The depth map and depth matte features for 3D models are not in the Express 3D model kit. Those are Pro only. So mostly the same, but not quite. There are a few things that are exclusive.
Yeah.
Stars.
I think this is back to Mike's screen here. I think I heard Kirsty one time say that out of the 100% of if you looked at everything that was in Pro, about 70 to 75% of those are in the stock Express version. And then another 20 to 25% can be purchased as add-ons. And then about 5% is Pro only. So it's 95% there if you were to do that. And obviously everything that is in that 95% can be done in Express, but you may get the watermark if you're jumping into some effects that are Pro, that are add-on, right?
There we go.
There you go. Everything. Not quite. There we go.
All right.
Daniel says, not saving the project. That sounds dangerous. That would be dangerous. Save early and save often. Yep. Daniel also mentions that the 3D camera tracker is Pro only.
Yep.
Foundry. Wireframe, is that a Pro effect?
That might be. I'm not sure. I don't know if that's an add-on or not.
I can't remember. Now, Greg says you can make your own chromatic. You can make your own chromatic.
Javert did a tutorial on that.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Come back over to Terry's screen. Still tweaking the lighting on that a little bit. Dafter says, a lot of people doing stop motion often used watermark software. Having a HitFilm watermark wouldn't put them off, so another reason for them to give it a go. Interesting. Except they're often not on desktop. If they are, they tend to be older spec. Yeah. Ivan says, I think I calculated that if you only have to buy 10 add-on before the Pro is cheaper. And I think, Mike, you had a formula that you had developed. How many add-ons do you buy before you jump into Pro?
Mine was just, if you're going to spend more than $150 on add-ons, you should just be buying Pro. And if you're spending more than $100 on add-on, you should think about saving up for Pro.
Yep. Yeah, exactly.
Right, because I think all that I figured it out at one point, and people are like, well, if I buy the add-ons for Express, I don't have to renew like I have to with Pro.
Right.
But if you buy all the add-ons for Express, you're looking at $800. So we'll just ignore FX home sales for a while and just go you pay full price, $390. What is it? $349 now. And then $149 for an add up, so $350, $2, $3, $4. You'd have to be upgrading Pro like 5 years in a row before you end up spending more than you would on Express, and and then you get all the new features, and it's just.
And you still get to keep Pro even if you didn't upgrade it every year or often.
Correct.
So back to Mike's screen here. That's a pretty nice little scene for the stock Express. Pretty nice looking indeed. Oh, now we're moving here. Oh, Mike, now we're getting fancy. Fancy, fancy. This is, I based my star or solar star tutorial partially on the Andrew Kramer / Simon Jones Axel Wilkinson tutorials, but also I used this technique that you're using that you taught me as well in this, and that looks pretty good. Back to Terry's screen. We got another spaceship going here. He's adding his materials on now. Emissions. That looks like the lights. Yep. Yeah, he's adding the lights now to the orbital, make it look even nicer.
Oh, I want to see what Terry's got. Yeah, I'm going to stop with this scene here after the RAM render because I was kind of like, let's spend about 20 minutes doing this, and it's been 35.
35 minutes.
Yeah. So, right. We're past the suggested challenge time.
Yeah.
But I want to see what Terry's got going in just a second.
Yeah, you got to wait till the RAM preview is done.
Yeah, and I'm worried that if I go away from HitFilm and then come back to it, that my RAM preview will clear. So
you might, but I doubt it. I think it'll still be there.
Yeah. So
Terry is building the orbital. He's adding the emissions lights now. Yeah, Daniel also brings up the Humble Bundle sale, which throws a complete monkey wrench into all of the, into the discussion of Pro versus, Express, because, if you can pick up Pro for that, then you're really obviously much better off. The other new factor is the combo packs that they now have, the $9 starter pack, the $19 starter pack, that kind of stuff. Those add a whole lot of value to the add-on.
That's true. They did just basically drop the prices on a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, I mean, you can pay $9 and get $80 worth of add-ons. Essentially, you can pay, $19 and get $100 and some worth of add-ons. So those are really a sweet deal. And if you're going to go with that, you definitely want to, hook that up for sure.
Yeah, I gave up on the.
Now has us on the emissions.
I gave up on the emission of the lights.
I have a tutorial that I'll be coming out with on how to do that better. Actually, I'm going to have two tutorials, one to do it one way and one to do it another way. I've sort of covered it before. But it came up recently in the forums, so it's coming out here in the next couple of weeks. Both of those back-to-back tutorials on how to do.
Couldn't get the scales matched up right.
Yeah, I think you'll really enjoy those tutorials, Terry. I'm going to flip back over to Mike's screen. He's getting pretty close here. He's adding a few little tweaks on this now. Yeah. Greg says, Terry, the emission layer needs to be blend, the blend mode needs to be set, right? And then a couple of glows on it. Mark says we should all have the green screens in the background so that Film Sensei can change the backgrounds. And actually, Mark, you can add your own background, whatever it is. So Terry's background, let me bring up Terry's screen. He has Yoda and that. He built that background, right, Terry? You built that in HitFilm? No. If Terry can hear me, but I think he built that background in HitFilm. And there's a different background. That one comes stock in what we have, the software we're using, StreamYard. But I think Terry built the one that he's used. and he has a green screen behind him. So the rest of us don't have a green screen behind us. But if you did add a green screen, then you could, the production or the software lets you use that green screen. There's Terry's screen again, and Mike's screen again. Maybe a little peek on Justin's. He's doing some rotoscoping as he is preparing his picture for his scene. How we doing, Mike?
You know what? I'm gonna.
You're gonna add one more. You can't help it, can you?
No, I was gonna say I'm actually gonna render. What is that?
Oh, you're gonna render. I see. All right, we'll go back to Terry's screen.
I'm done.
Terry's done. He's got his scene set up. Is it?
That's why I was rendering, because then I would stop tweaking with it and I could see what Terry's got going. Wow.
Is it? You got a RAM preview set up for us, Terry, so you can play it for us?
No, somebody tell me how to do that. I do not know.
Oh, show my screen for a minute, please.
There you go.
So Terry, for a RAM preview, you want to put the cursor where you want to. I don't need to see.
Export.
I don't need to see that. So for RAM preview, you're going to kick yourself. It's a simple one. It's this one right here. It's this, not this play button, but it's this play button with a circle around it. And when you, right, and if I hit play, you'll see it'll go smoothly here because that's my RAM previewed section, and then it starts to jerk as it gets out of the RAM preview. So if I do that, right, I'm just going to hit that, and now I'm waiting as it slowly builds everything, and you can see that at the bottom, building that blue bar right here. And when it RAM previews, it'll be done. So yeah, it's just that button, and then I can stop building my RAM preview by hitting that, maybe set an out point, set it to loop the in and out point, and hit, play, and it'll just...
Yeah, and that's the cool part, is you can just loop that piece with your RAM preview. It's really cool.
Yep.
There you go. You got it. So that blue bar is the RAM preview. Now it might stop if
you run out of RAM.
Yeah, if you run out of RAM.
Now,
You can play. You can scrub through it, and you can play, and it works. If you want to set a in and out point, then what you do is you just play it until till you stop it, and then hit O for out, start with the I at the in point, kind of a thing.
Oh, on having the green screen background, Laura has said that you should have the green screen behind you. Yeah, well, my problem there was the room I'm in right now. This was my dad's bedroom, and we had a friend who was staying here for several months, and she was staying in here. And then when we went out of town, we went overseas to Ireland. She wanted to clean up the house and help us move some stuff. And she moved a bunch of my gear, so I don't know where my light stands are, so I can't really set up my green screen because I don't know where the light stands are that I put Amber, where did you put those? What do they look like? They'd be black bags.
I hate when that happens.
Wait a minute.
Here's what I do is when I do a RAM preview, I start here, I hit the I key to set my endpoint. Then I start the RAM preview working, you can see, and then when I'm done, I don't hit that stop button. Instead, I hit O, and that stops it and sets the out point. Then I can loop that, and I can just play just the RAM preview itself, right? And this is the loop here, this little two arrows pointing in a square, right? So
they're in the closet up here.
So that's my system for setting my in and out, and like I said, I start with where I want. I hit the I key, then I hit the RAM preview button. Then when I've RAM previewed enough, I hit O to stop it, and I make sure loop is on, and then I can just play that loop but the O automatically stops it and sets the RAM preview, or stops
Yeah.
the RAM preview and sets the out point at the same time, right? So that's my system.
Now, oddly enough, I think RAM preview is based off the paused resolution and playback settings, not the playback.
Oh, I figured RAM
think.
preview would just be set as the full because it's like a full preview, no?
Yeah.
In other words, it's like
no. You can RAM preview it at a lower resolution or lower quality
really?
setting.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
I do
didn't
that all
know
the
that.
time.
Wow,
Yeah.
I had no idea. And it's the paused resolution.
I think so. I think it's the paused resolution and
okay.
playback settings. Okay, so he's got the Orville coming in.
And then it launches.
Nice.
I love it.
Nice.
Yep,
Mine
that's
should
fantastic.
be looping here in the background since I rendered it out.
All right, we'll bring up Mike's here. Oh yeah, 2D Planet. This is all done in HitFilm Express.
Yep.
And it is.
I can see it. I'm hitting the edge of a plane with that blurred glow. Look at that little straight line right there.
Oh yeah, you sure are.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
barely.
Can't see it until it starts to cross in front of the sun, and then it's like, oops, that's a straight line.
Yeah, it certainly is.
That's fixable.
Yeah, that wouldn't be hard. Just caught it.
But yeah, just faking it out with the 2D texture and under a circle mask and a bulge. That's not a technique that's in my Planet tutorial. So I did what I said I was going to do. I used a different technique from the ones that I've done in my own tutorials. That
causes like a 3D forward. I actually played with the idea of creating. In fact, I might have done a tutorial on this already. A hologram of the Earth, where I used a bulge effect to create the front, and then I used a bulge effect to create a reverse pinch effect to do the back part, and then had it rotate like that. And it was two different layers, obviously, that were that way. And it came out interesting looking. It's real. It looks good enough at a glance. But if you really started to study it, you'd be like, wait a second, that doesn't look exactly right. But,
Yeah.
Robustwell says, Sensei, this morning, I used your Space Fleet in Hyperspeed tutorial to figure out. And that tutorial, I was specifically taught by a certain somebody who shall remain nameless, but his initials are Mike Miller. Mike taught me that whole thing and said, "Now run and go."
No. You had most of that because I stole most of that from a Simon tutorial. The only thing I gave you was the move the anchor point to the back of the model trick, and I don't remember who I stole that from. I took that from a magazine in 1988.
Wow.
For the Atari ST for CAD 3D on that, and it was somebody who was doing an Enterprise D warp, and his trick was to move the anchor point to the back. So that's I stole
that you could stretch and then
Yeah.
But you taught me how to do that. Actually, that was you. That was all you. All right. So Terry has his Orville. Justin, are you ready to show us yours?
Not quite yet. I'm still working on some stuff.
Not yet. We're stalling for you. We're stalling for you. Anybody here? Here's a question Ivan asked. How do I split the left and right audio channels?
In HitFilm, I don't think you do.
Nope. You got to use Audacity.
Yeah, you use Audacity.
Yeah, use a dedicated sound program like Audacity. I actually use Goldwave because I've owned it for years and I know how to use it. But it's any dedicated sound program will do. Audacity is the best out there because it's free and it's super powerful.
And it's been around forever. I mean, Audacity goes back to the 90s, so it's pretty mature and it's actually still in development. I can't think of too many free open source programs that have been in active development for like 20, 30 years.
Yeah, for sure. It's a great program. Any other questions? Fire them away at us. We got some really intelligent people sitting here with me. I'm not one of those intelligent people, but I've got three very intelligent people here. So I'll just ask the question if you have one.
Knew I was going to be the weakest link.
I
don't know, Terry. It's Justin's the one whose space scene we're waiting for. Justin must be hard at work because he didn't even bother to give me a dirty look for that one. I'm
Nice.
sorry, man. That was mean.
It's okay. I totally deserve it.
The Solo Samurai Project says, "Good morning.
Good morning, Chris George.
It is great to see you, sir. From down under, Australia."
Adelaide.
It's tomorrow there.
I heard that somebody was actually in that town and didn't bother seeing him.
Yeah. That was me. That was me.
Nice.
But I played on a zip line for hours.
In a park that was like right down from his house.
Okay, somebody help me remember here. I threw the sphere effect on something. How do you rotate the friggin' sphere?
Oh, you need to... Let me throw the sphere effect onto
Maybe
something
add a point
myself.
layer to do it there?
Yeah, you add a point layer.
Yeah.
And then in the sphere effect, it's the in the position tab, transform from, and you hook it to the point.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a 3D point. And he says, "Ha ha, thanks a lot." Chris has been doing some really good work recently. I've been really enjoying his stuff. The Solo Samurai Project. Go check it out on YouTube. He's got some great things that he's doing down there. Good work, Mike, he says. Good work.
Yeah.
The name just got shrunk down. This is annoying. Is it still a bug? Like the name of one of my layers just got squashed down to nothing here.
Oh, in the layer stack.
Yeah.
That's an intermittent bug that goes back to like HitFilm. That one goes back to like what, HitFilm 4 or 2017, and it's proving a tough one to quash apparently.
It still happens to me as well.
I think what does that do if you switch composite shots and then go back? It comes back sometimes.
I have never been able to figure out why that happens. I just know it does.
Yeah, it just does it randomly.
It would pop up when I added my 3D, my rotation point, and made that 3D, and then I came back out of that, and my camera's there, but now my main layer that has this effect on it is all messed up. Anyway.
Tony with the After Thing says, "I use HitFilm Express for some stuff, and now I'm realizing with HitFilm Express, GIMP, Audacity, the free bits of Production Crate, and the free bits of Filmstro, you've got nearly the full suite. Add Blender, and you're good to go."
Pretty much.
I agree. It's ridiculous. It's crazy what you can do with just the free stuff that's out there.
Yeah.
And Chris, you're very welcome. I've been just really enjoying the content that you're putting out. It's awesome stuff.
Yeah.
Oh,
Courtney.
All
right, so let's keep going on Mike forgetting to call people. I was also in Florida for 10 days and forgot to, we didn't go directly. I mean, we didn't go by Kissimmee, but it isn't that far out of the way when you're going from Ocala to Fort Lauderdale. So
and
we made this too hard. A comp 1920 by 960, a 4K HD from the ISS, mask the edge, add stars, push twist the camera, space scene. Oh, yep.
Color grade, voila. Poof. How hard could it be? Greg did it.
Yeah.
Just kidding, Greg. You're amazing. Yes, sir.
Share my HitFilm screen, and this is a project I'm currently working on.
All right, let's see what Terry's got going.
Okay.
That's one of the projects you're doing for one of your grandkids, right, Terry?
Yeah, I was going to ask.
It's going to be the ABC song.
And you rendered that creature out in Blender, right? You've been rendering those fur boys out for a while, if I remember correctly.
Trying to get it right. There's a glitch right between the two animations that I've got to try to smooth out yet. That's from
that looks great.
That's from a Southern Shoddy tutorial on making the hair model.
Did you animate that yourself, or did you use like a Mixamo animation or something like that?
Yeah. The tutorial he put out, you figure with the dance animation you want, and then you bring it into Blender and you add the hair particles to it. I'm going to put it in the grandkids' living room. Come to the song on the TV. And then there's another tutorial he did with a worm Patreon giveaway, and I'm going to have the worm bust up through the floor. I hope. I don't know.
Well, how long did this? How long did the dancing fur guy take to render?
Actually, the render of it, I was getting about a minute to a minute and a half per frame.
It's not bad for all those hair sims.
1,000 particles, but there's a bunch of children.
Dafter Things asks, where did Terry find that suit, and where did he get those moves?
Yeah, I wish I could move like that. I don't think I've ever been able to.
No, whatever.
So Daniel says he thinks he broke something, tried to add curves effect to a PNG with a mask and instant crash. It might depend on your setting, how strong your computer is on that one.
Shouldn't. I mean, not for just a. Standard comments on that. Make sure your GPU drivers are updated. Make sure you run all the critical OS things.
Right.
If the problem persists, talk to support.
Yeah, because that doesn't sound like something that would happen.
It shouldn't happen, but
And it doesn't sound like it would hold, would bog things down to the point where you'd crash it. Because I do that. I mean, I'm constantly pushing HitFilm to the point where it crashes. I'm really good at that. You know what I mean? That's this save early, save often thing. Oftentimes I'll have that happen. So, you got to, and for me, I just run out of GPU memory, I think. How close are we, Justin?
All right, I'm pretty much ready to go.
All right, you ready for me to share your screen?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, here it is.
Oh God, he's got Smiley, the evil Ernie button.
Oh, that's fantastic.
You're dead already, dude.
I love the look on your face. That's great.
Well, he's about to be killed by a giant Smiley, the evil Ernie button.
This the lighting of the lighting on the front of the ship is fantastic, man.
That's actually pretty simple. It's a yellow plane set to, what's my mode there?
Is it hue?
Blender, screen, or hue, one of those three.
It's set
overlay,
color, and then there's a very heavily feathered mask on the thing. It's an oval mask on a diagonal. So it's just a mask right in here. This is very, very feathered out.
Yeah. Oh, I see. And then what is the blend mode?
Blend mode on the plane is color.
Color. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I thought I might need to reduce the transparency some, but I just put it on color, and it just leaves just enough of the natural color in there to work.
Yeah, I thought maybe it was hue or overlay, but color. Very cool. Very cool.
I'm gonna jack the glow up on this guy a little more. It's not really. The radius isn't all that great. Well, the glow is good, but I want more like an outer glow kind of a thing here. This is very rapidly assembled, and I'm figuring things out.
That's a pretty slick little tip there, a little trick. I like it. That's cool.
No, deleting System 32 will. Don't do that, Daniel Peterson.
Don't delete your System 32. Greg says we can
Do
have.
not dry out your cell phone. Oh, crash contest?
Yeah, I've got a few files for such a contest.
Oh.
Yeah, they'd crash on my system probably. Farrah Films, welcome, sir. Great to have you.
After things. Blend modes are a mystery still. What's the difference between add and screen? Tony, I'm just going to refer you to my channel on that because I actually have a half-hour tutorial on blend modes that discusses the math behind it. The blend modes are all mathematical transformations. They're all they were defined a long time ago. Blend modes are one of those things that are pretty much identical in every program. Every once in a while, somebody changes the name. So Adobe a while ago stopped calling it add and started calling it linear dodge. But they're... In practical terms, a screen blend is going to make the screen, is going to brighten the underlying layer. The add mode is going to brighten the underlying layer. The add mode does it very simple. Let's pretend all of our channels, we're not worrying about 0 to 255, 0 to 250, right? The red, green, blue, 0 to 255. We'll just go 0 to 1 because that's really what the computer's thinking. So with an add mode, if I have a 25% gray, 0.25, and I add a 25% gray to it, then 0.25 plus 0.25 is 0.5. So I get a linear 50% gray. And screen, it does an inversion and a multiplication and an inversion, and it brightens things up, just not as much as add. If I screen a 0.25 and a 0.25, I'd come out with somewhere with 0.35, and the math's a little more whatever. But yeah, just go to that tutorial.
Yeah. There's a tutorial on HitFilm University that'll cover that. It's a wonderful tutorial. Basically, what I do is I just play with them until I find one that works right, And I kind of have a base idea of what the blend modes do. So I'll start with one, and then I go, oh, that's not really. Maybe I'll go to this one, and that kind of thing. But like blend and screen are really similar, or add and screen are really similar, but add is just a little brighter usually.
You can also look at there's a Wikipedia page on blend modes, and you may as well just go ahead and look at that because when I did my tutorial on blend modes, it's just it's the Wikipedia page rewritten with some sample images. So.
And actually, the HitFilm manual, which was written I think by Axel Wilkinson, covers.
Oh, it's got those now.
Talks about them, and it's really really well done. And that's where I went to do my Udemy course, and the course on because I have one of my videos is on all the blend modes. That's where I got all the reference material for it.
I'll have to look at that section on the manual because Axel did ask me for a copy of my document on that one.
Yeah, it's probably pretty close.
So. Axel, I probably shouldn't say this, but I will say that I know that Axel has at least one tutorial he's working on for FX Home, but it's a Vegas effect.
Oh.
And that's part of the Vegas post. And Vegas Effects is, if you don't know what Vegas Effects is, it's basically a different version of HitFilm, but it's optimized more to work with Vegas, and you can launch it from inside Vegas. Here, I'll open up Vegas Effects because I've just realized that that's like my backdoor way of running two instances of HitFilm at the same time. Because they have different cache folders for the reason why you can't run more than one version of HitFilm at a time is just about using the common cache folders and about the common folders for pre-renders.
Greg says, Gray Motion, add appears brighter, in parentheses, harder light than screen, which is softer light, basically. Yeah. So there you go.
But export off.
Full screen version of that in if you want to see it without HitFilm interface wrapped around it there.
What'd you say?
Yeah. I shared a version of the image. It's just the image by itself. Without.
Did you put a glow on the light of the spaceship?
No, I didn't.
Oh, it looks like it's almost like glowing there.
That spaceship had its own glow on that little white light over there.
Oh.
Yeah.
I just
found
a spaceship with a green screen. I keyed it out and then kind of went it down from there.
That's so good. That's great.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that looks awesome. That's fantastic.
Greg says Vegas FX equals closed. I don't get that, Greg.
I
Yeah.
don't either.
But Vegas FX, and that's up on my screen at the moment.
There you go.
And I mean, it's just, hi, this is Vegas FX, and you launch it from Vegas, right? Edit in Vegas FX, edit in HitFilm, and they're effectively the same thing, right?
Oh.
The Vegas FX time, the main thing about it is Vegas is tabs on the bottom of the panel, right? So to be more Vegas-y, the tabs are on the bottom of the panel, and I got to tell you, as I'm working on a project in Vegas and Vegas Effects, my God, that has slowed me down so much. Just
because all the tabs are on the bottom. The tabs are in the wrong place.
Not in the wrong place, because when I go to Vegas, I don't have a problem with the tabs being on the bottom because I'm used to them being there. Yeah. And when I go into HitFilm, it's an easy adjustment for the tabs being on top, but when I go into Vegas Effects, since this is an almost identical program, my brain goes into HitFilm mode and wants the tab to be on the top, so it throws it there, that it's on the bottom, and it's kind of amusing. But they're very similar programs, and I just happen to be, oops, I accidentally, now I got to wait for that error message to come up, and this is this is something I'm working on way too slowly.
Oh, yeah. I got it, Greg. It took me a second, Greg. But sorry, we're a little slow here, that's all.
Oh, Vegas shut
down humor. Vegas is closed.
It is. I have a couple friends who were in Vegas this week, and they were sending smartphone videos of the closed casinos, and this particular friend hates social media and hates smartphones, so I knew it was bad when he borrowed his wife's smartphone and actually shot video and posted it on YouTube.
Well, now, Justin, you're in Vegas, right?
Yeah. I live here, and I didn't even get the joke until a couple seconds ago. So,
and so, how closed is it? It's pretty close, huh?
It's very close. Like they're talking about the casino and the hotel owners losing billions over all the shutdowns. I mean, you can only get a hotel if it's like an absolute necessity, but all the entertainment is closed. I have a friend of mine who employs people that run various entertainment activities all around Vegas. He had to lay off employees. Mm-hmm. So yeah, layoffs, and another guy I know, the guy that was actually we board our horse over his place just like a few blocks away.
Well, I'm sorry, board your what?
Our horse. We have a horse. My wife has a horse, rather.
I misheard that for something that was not quite as nice.
Oh, sorry, no.
A horse.
Similar word, but not what you said.
Make sure that S is on the end. Yeah.
Exactly. I knew I misheard that.
It's Vegas, but not that Vegas. No.
Right.
All right. Well, I think we probably ought to wrap this up. We've been here for 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
I do want to thank you guys for being here, and I'm going to go around the table and let everybody say a last word, starting with Terry.
I've been pretty used.
Nah, you were ahead on the spacing.
Oh, 1 out of 3. That's not good odds.
Perfect distribution.
Sounds like perfect distribution to me. I agree. All right, Mike.
Anti-disestablishmentarianistically.
Tarianistically. What do you...
Anti-disestablishmentarianistically. That's my last word. Unless you prefer supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.
All right, that's a pretty good word. I like it. Thanks, Mike. How about Justin?
Photobomb.
I'm still working on that part 2 LED. It will come eventually. That's all I can say. I'm apologizing for the fact that it's not out there yet.
No worries. We know it's coming. We know you're good for it. We know where you live. Well, we'll come and get you if we have to. Thanks everybody for watching. Great stream. Suggestion for next week: try to go on the FX forums and show how you would solve each of the threads problems. Mike has his pad answer. Go ahead, Mike.
Yeah.
Let's solve half of them right now. Go ahead.
No.
Make sure.
Okay. Well, here. Okay, you show my screen, and here I hit HitFilm, and Screenblad makes video transparent, and he says, let's see, I download footage from Footage when I use Screenblad, it turns the footage transparent. I used not to do this, and Game Painter is wrong. because Screenman has always made his whatever, and we see here. And what's I have a composite shot, and they're in the background using my screen. Correct? No, you use TD Davis wins a bet, I think, on this one. Yeah, he wants demult. Yeah. So there, we solved the problem. You want the demult effect, not the screen blend mode.
Boom.
Right, because that's what he's trying to do. I want a composite shot to remove the black background.
Right.
Removes all hues of black. So that's what he wants. He wants demult. So there we go. We solved the problem on the forum in real time.
There you go. How cool. Well, maybe we'll have to do some more of that. That's not a bad idea. We'll go on and answer questions from the forum or something like that. Maybe we'll get a group of guests together. That sounds fun. Well, listen, I appreciate everybody being here. Gentlemen, I appreciate you being here. Would love to have you all back. Hope you enjoyed yourself. I know I learned a few things by watching you guys work through the problems, and hopefully you guys learned a little bit along the way also.
Yeah, I remember your thing with the set mat and the auto flare to generate the mat, and then I'd forgotten it, and that is a brilliant tip. And of course, Justin with the block display and the one layer, that was elegant, right? I mean, you did it in one layer or two layers, and the first thing I was trying to do, I think you crashed out at that point. I was already in nested composite shots, and just like, oh, okay. So
a great layer with all the effects, and then a plane underneath.
Love it. Love the elegance of that. And then Terry was ahead on the space scene, so I think we each had one where we were kind of ahead on, right?
Yep. I was glad.
Watch doing this thing all over again.
Yeah, I was glad that everybody was, everybody did the base version, but then it was the kicker that kind of threw it in there. That was fun. That was good.
Yeah, that was a good twist.
Well, thank you. Let me see here. Great stuff.
Putting these together.
Yay, my pleasure. Thank you guys for playing, and hope maybe we'll do it again sometime. We'll come up with a different. I don't know. The format was, like I said, we were just testing and playing, trying it out and see what we could get. And I appreciate you guys being brave volunteers to even participate.
Yeah.
All right, guys. I think we are out. What do you think?
See ya.
I think so.
All right. We'll see you, everybody. Take care.
Yeah, be well.